Asian World Cup qualifiers throws up more surprises, more drama, and some absolutely dreadful games today. We have 8 games to talk about. Are we going to talk about Uzbekistan getting robbed by Qatar? Are we going to talk about Herve Renard returning to Saudi Arabia? China, are they back, people? Are they back? And Iran and North Korea play one of the craziest games I've seen in a long time. Get your thoughts in the comments down below. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. As we're going to go straight into the games. This game is not going to take long because Australia and Saudi Arabia was absolutely dreadful, terrible. Okay, you can talk about defensively. Both teams were solid. Geria, obviously the center back for Australia, looking really good in his first couple appearances with the national team. Really impressed by him. Such, obviously, Burgess looking good, but the attack is so diabolical. If you follow me on Twitter, I posted a photo of Mark Viduka, Harry Kuehl, Tim Cahill. Now, you're going to try and tell me Duke or Yengi or whoever, right? Vilupai, who came off the bench in the start of the second half, looked pretty good, lively. And then he got injured, which was a very terrible thing for Australia and the Socceroos. But it almost got even worse for the Socceroos because Saudi Arabia scored a goal with Al Ghanam. But the problem was it was offside by El Bolahi, who kind of interfered with Gauchi's peripheral in a way. And I thought to myself, okay, maybe you can let that stand. I think I've seen Man City score that sort of same goal and that stood. But to be honest, I can see why they would rule it offside. If I was Saudi, I would be pissed off because we didn't play good and we could have robbed a point here and a valuable 3 points. It was a great goal from Al Ghanam and just Al Bulahi's offside. I think it's the right call. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But Saudi Arabia were not good either. Let's not get away from that. The midfield, while it had a very young midfield with Al Jawari, Al Dasari, and Al Gaveri, it still wasn't fluid enough. You know, they got pressed a couple times in the first half and lost the ball easily. Then El Sereri, the striker was just, did he even play? Did he even play today, people? You ask me. This is the problem. No Salim Al-Dasari because he's injured. But it doesn't matter. Any of these strikers or forwards, it's just non-existent with this Saudi team right now. Al-Sahafi, who I really like, he's having a very good season in the Belgian Pro League. He barely got the ball in the second half. What is he supposed to do without the ball? So, yeah, look, from Saudi Arabia's point of view, from Herve Renard's point of view, is a point away to, in Melbourne, a bad point? No, it isn't. But the performance, it just sort of mirrors what's been going on over and over again. And Saud Abdulhamid made an absolutely game-saving tackle. Otherwise, the Socceroos could have won this game as well. But the match overall was terrible. Australia's just attack is non-existent. There's no fluidity. There's no creation. There's nothing. Riley McGree almost scored a Puskas winner again with that bicycle kick at the end. If that went in, the Socceroos, and you guys let me know if you're Aussie out there, this attack is just abysmal. It just pains me to watch this every time. Obviously covering the Asian World Cup qualifiers, but the attack just has nada. Nothing. It's like having shrimp on the Barbie, but there's no shrimp. So all you just got is fire and coal. That's Australia right now. You need the ingredients, and there's no ingredients with the attack. Look, the defense is doing its job. Gauchi on the ball today was a little bit of a liability, but the game overall was just lacking quality. When you hear Australia versus Saudi Arabia, quality. Going to be a good game. Game wasn't good. And it ended 0-0, and rightfully so, because holy crap, it was abysmal. It was abysmal. But let's get to a game that was absolutely sensational. This was football box office. And I guess it's the sort of idea with North Korea and these World Cup qualifiers. Just box office, because that first half was all Iran. Iran destroyed them. It could have been 5-0, 6-0 possibly. Obviously, the goalkeeper for North Korea made a couple of brilliant saves. That one he made on Taremi when Osman laid it off to Taremi. Sensational save. But Mohebi gets 2 goals. Really good for him. He's now got 4 goals in his last 2 games. Gaedi got a goal as well from Taremi. Taremi had a hat-trick of assists, missed penalty, and an own goal. What a game for Taremi. If you want to talk about FPL points, Taremi is up there for the good and for the bad. But it all changed. This game, if it just stayed 11v11, it would have been just an absolute demolishing by Iran. But Khalizadze gets the red card, and rightfully so. He was the last man. I thought to myself, okay, you're going to get the red card here. Now the game is going to switch. Once North Korea got that first goal, momentum. Then Kim Yu-sung got the second goal, and I really thought to myself, I think North Korea are going to get an equalizer here. Because there was like, what, 30 minutes left to go. Iran are kind of just fragile at the moment. Defensively, they weren't looking good. The field is terrible. Of course it is. And defend well. And they just simply didn't defend well. They left North Korea all the space and time. Taremi misses the penalty. To me, I thought it was a soft penalty. And you know that old saying, ball don't lie. And the ball didn't lie as he missed the penalty. And North Korea hit the crossbar. They had a two really good chances. Iran kind of got lucky at the end. Let's be honest here, Iranians. I thought you guys played really well in the first half. Obviously, Mohebi and Gayedi getting goals is crucial for the front four. But you were struggling to get that win at the end. But you get the 3 points. And that's the most valuable thing. After going 10 men down and facing a little bit of adversity, just hold on for the win is the most important thing. And North Korea, these guys are just box office. Pure box office. The goalkeeper is horrendous with the ball. That one action he had in the second half where he tried to dribble past 3 Iranians was terrible from him. He is box office. This team is box office. They defend terribly. They attack with numbers. It is wonderful to see as a neutral. But yeah, look, Iran get the victory. I apologize to all my Chinese people out there. I thought you guys were done. I thought that we were going to lose every single game in these qualifiers. But they are back. Not because of their attack, not because of Wu Lei or any of this stuff, but because defensively, they look much more solid after they got demolished 7-0 by Japan. Okay, yeah, they gave up 2 goals to Saudi Arabia. They gave up 3 goals to Australia, but they look like a much more defensively organized team now with Ivankovic. They look it. Like, you cannot deny that if you're a neutral or if you're Chinese. But the main thing is, Zhang, who's been heavily criticized, and I'm not his biggest fan. I think he's the Darwin Núñez of Chinese football. But he's getting crucial goals here. He got a goal against Indonesia, gets the game winner today. And if you just want more drama, maybe Indonesians are going to watch this video and laugh at Bahrain. But Bahrain scored a goal. Haram, I think it was his, who scored the goal. Offside. It's crazy. They waited a couple minutes, then they rolled it offside. What do China immediately do? They said, okay, cool. We're going to go get a goal. Zhang, lucky little touch with his back heel. I think it was in Wang Haijian. He has the assist. And Zhang is open in the box and gets the game winner in the 91st minute. I cannot remember the last time China scored this late of a goal in such a meaningful game. Now they got 6 points. Back-to-back win. With this group, right? It's Japan and then everybody else. So if you can just string a couple victories together like China are doing, they're back in the race. Are China going to qualify to the World Cup? Now, I'm not going to get crazy, but they look a lot more organized. They've taken advantage of playing Bahrain and Indonesia. If they can just beat these 2 opponents again, they'll make it to the top 4 at least. And hey, with the way things are going for Saudi Arabia and Australia, might as well believe if you're Chinese. But great performance defensively. I felt like going forward, they're still a little bit struggling with combination play. It's either with Zhang or Abdueli. They don't really have that sort of combination play together at the moment. But it can develop more and more. But valuable win for China, and for Bahrain, absolute just. Marhoun, not good enough. Obviously, Madan, really liked him at the Asian Cup, not good enough. The attack is just. They couldn't create anything against China. And that's a credit to China, and also a discredit to Bahrain. A team that was not lacking ideas was South Korea. They just demolished Kuwait. South Korea are just in a flow right now. They're in a flow. You're feeling good. You're going to the club. They got the LV on. They got maybe Supreme on. They got maybe they got Jordans on their feet. South Korea playing like it. They got the confidence. They got the swagger. I'm really liking the way they're playing. And the one player I'm really impressed by is Hwang In-beom. I think that move going from Cervana Zvezda to Feyenoord elevated his career even more. His passing is so elite. First goal to Hoi-seon. Great cross and the header from Hoi-seon, who now has, I think, 2 goals in his last 2 appearances. So a striker who can then mold himself into that starting position is going to be valuable for this South Korean team. But Hwang In-beom play is just phenomenal to watch. The tempo of it, I love the way he makes it look so effortless. Did Hong Min-son have his best game? He was okay. Lee Kang-in, did he have his best game? He was okay. But I think it's just more about the midfield play of Hwang In-beom. And obviously, Kuwait, did they offer anything in this game? No, other than Daham's goal was ridiculous. The touch and the volley, there was nothing South Korea could have done for that goal. But they defensively did well, South Korea. And Kuwait, yeah. I think Cho and Kim Min-jae, they kind of complement each other very well because Cho is a bit more aggressive. Even though Kim Min-jae is an aggressive defender, they complement each other quite well. But yeah, good performance from South Korea, and they're just rolling right now. They scored 3 goals, 2 goals, 3 goals, 3 goals. Told you, this team is so talented going forward. They're going to still be a liability defensively. But if the attack is clicking like this, you don't want to play South Korea. You don't. And they're proving it over and over again. But let me know your thoughts, South Koreans. Are you now happy with your team? Are you gaining, confidence? Are you starting to believe once more? Or is it Kuwait tax? Oh, Palestine. They're such a frustrating team. What I've seen from them so far in these qualifiers compared to the Asian Cup. Asian Cup, much more organized, a lot more clinical with when they were attacking. But this qualifiers, they look a lot more disorganized. If you're telling me, I think Palestine are a better team than Oman, and they're a better team than Kuwait, but they have 1 point against those two teams. 1 point. That is not good enough. And again, how many times am I going to say this during these qualifiers? The dude is not stepping up at the moment. He is their talisman. He needs to step up. I haven't seen the best of Al-Batat. Nothing from him either. But the goal they concede is just kind of naive. It's like, okay, you want to push for a winner. I can understand that. Get 3 points. But Saleh with that just non-existent tackle right there gives the ball up, and then Al Ghassani gets a tap in because the goalkeeper made a very good save, but Al Ghassani is there at the back post. And did Oman really create anything in this game either? No, I felt like it was a frustrating game for them, but who cares? If you're Omani, you're going to take the 3 points and kind of get closer to Jordan and Iraq. But I think this is more about Palestine. They're a frustrating team at the moment. Really, really frustrating. Maybe it can improve, but these are the sort of games you need to win. And this is the sort of games where Oman's kind of experience was showing and just the clinical edge they got, and they get a valuable 3 points in this matchup. Bent side get 3 points and 3 goals. Good performance from them. Suhail scored 2 ridiculous goals. I mean, the first one was an absolute gift from Kyrgyzstan. What on earth they're doing defensively, I have no clue. But the second goal and the third goal for the UAE, phenomenal from Suhail. Only 21 years old, the creative attacking midfielder. Phenomenal. Absolute golazo right there. And Kyrgyzstan is another team kind of like Palestine where they create a lot of good opportunities, but just no clinical edge and a little bit naive defensively. And when you're playing out from the back, you need to be confident on the ball. And they weren't confident today, and they get punished for it by conceding 3 goals. And that is not a great performance from the UAE, but a performance that will keep on giving them confidence. Obviously, Mackenzie Hunt in the midfield getting his first start for the UAE. Obviously, Sohail doing really well. Barabos getting a goal, even though I could feel like Tokotayev, the goalkeeper for Kyrgyzstan, could have done better on that second goal for the UAE. But nonetheless, a good performance from the UAE. If the UAE can beat Qatar, they're going to put themselves in a very good position to even fight for those top 2 positions. Yeah, this game was terrible. Look, as much as there was so much hype heading into this matchup, Iraq-Jordan, the rematch of the Asian Cup round of 16, one of the most epic games in Asian Cup history, this game was an absolute snooze fest. Snooze fest. I mean, both teams were really lacking going forward. Obviously, Ayman Hussein had that one chance in the second half and was a ghost out there. That was a ghost. I mean, did he get the service? Not really, but it just wasn't good from him. Ali Jassim, I felt like he wanted to get involved in the play. He would start off on the right, then switch to the left, but he didn't get a lot of joy. You saw some decent moments from him, but Sadoun, the right back, I mean, this dude should never start. Start Ali, Jesus Casas, start him. What? I just look at the midfield as well for Iraq, right? A lot of good, decent pieces there, but there's not a lot of creativity, in my opinion. Maybe just start somebody like, I don't know, Zidane Iqbal. Start him, or I don't know, Amin, start him. That would be good for Iraq. I think Jesus Casas is a little bit too safe right now. He's just thinking too much about not conceding the goal, whereas if he thinks to himself, okay, Ayman Hussein, you're going to carry us. You got to get more from other players. If Ayman Hussein is going to score every goal for Iraq, that is fantastic, and the dude should win Ballon d'Or. But when it's not working out, Jesus Casas, what's your plan B? And we saw today, no plan B. He didn't make a sub until the 73rd minute. Obviously, he had to make the sub with Sadoun because he got the stupid yellow card. He comes off, and then Ali comes on at halftime. But he waited till the 73rd minute. I could have told you, Jesus Casas, 60th minute, make a change. Bring a spark going forward. Because Jordan, were they any better? No, they weren't. Al-Naimat is a baller, but he was trying to do too much today. Too much hero ball. I didn't like that. All one. Too much hero ball. Al-Tamari, ghosted. Actually, you know what? I'm going to search this. I'm going to search, how do you say ghosted in Arabic? Asifatan. Asifatan. That's what Altamari did today. Asifatan. I don't know if that's correct. You're gonna have to correct me in the comments down below. But oh my god, he was not good. He got the ball and just got destroyed every time by Doski. Doski did a great job on Altamari, but maybe we could have seen Almardi earlier. I feel like for Jordan, I think they're gonna take this point. If I'm gonna be honest, you go to Basra, a very difficult venue, to get a point. Fantastic for Jordan. Now they're gonna have to still go away to South Korea and they're gonna host Iraq next June. I've told this many times. It's going to come down to that game. Jordan versus Iraq in Oman in June will be for everything. It will be for everything. I think these teams are just going to be level on points heading into that game. But Jordan right now have the goal difference advantage, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they have +4. Iraq, you got to start scoring more goals. 4 goals in 5 games. I think what we saw in the Asian Cup was such a attacking, fluid team. They were creating a lot of chances. Now I feel like the handbrakes are a little bit there because Jesus Casas hasn't been in this situation before. And you could say the same thing for Jordan, but Jordan seemed like a much more experienced team where it's a very young team for Iraq. And I feel like their age is a little bit showing it. They got to just be more brave. They got to be more brave out there. But shout out to the fans who went to the stadium 4 hours before the game started. Just shows you the support. And everybody who says international football, why is there international football? This is just dreadful. That's why. Because people care about it deeply. And this game, let me know your thoughts, people. I thought it was not entertaining at all. And then the most controversial game, Qatar and Uzbekistan. I feel like I've said that many times when it comes to Qatar. Uzbeks, you didn't get robbed. Let's try and break this down here because this game was unbelievable as well. Uzbekistan for the first half were dreadful. They had a lot going down bad for them. They had obviously Almoez Ali scoring 2 goals. And guess who got the 2 assists, people? Akram Afif. The dude is simply a baller. Every time he got on the ball, you felt like magic was going to happen. The other thing, Smordov goes down injured. Masaripov obviously comes onto the field. As soon as he got injured, Uzbekistan then conceded the 2 goals. Dreadful for them, right? Okay, Katanic, how are you going to reply? Abdullayev then was subbed off. Abdikolikov was subbed in. And a couple more substitutions maybe was what they needed, Uzbekistan. And then Faisulayev showed up. He has not been great in these qualifiers, but gets 2 goals. Both of them headers. From one of the shortest players on the field, which is crazy for Faisulayev. Masharipov, great cross. Alizhnov, great cross as well. But Uzbekistan then started playing much better football in the second half. They felt a bit more confidence. And they realized, oh no, this Qatar defense is garbage. It's garbage, right? I don't know why Katanic played way too safe in there. If you allow Qatar the ball, okay, Akram Afif is going to create something. Almoez Ali will get a goal somehow. Katanic approached this game totally wrong in my opinion. And then he rectified it. They got it up to 2-2. And now let's get to this, right? That goal should have stood. And that time was accurately allowed because there was an injury. They obviously checked for the red card, which I think was a red card, by the way, on Mohamed Wad. How he didn't get sent off is beyond me. Then there's the injury, of course. It gets to the 101st minute. 101st minute. Lucas Mendes scores an absolute golazo off the post and in. And Qatar saved their asses. And Uzbeks, oh my God. I mean, for all the momentum they've had, they've played not the greatest football I thought in these qualifiers, but they had the mental strength to get it back to 2-2. And then to drop it like that, oh my God, that's going to feel horrible for the players because obviously Shmordov goes down. Shukurov, I don't think he had his greatest game. I think he was carrying an injury. Faisulayev finally stepping up for this national team. But you still lose. Oh, that's going to sting big time for all Uzbeks out there. I think it was a game of 2 halves. First half, Qatar dominated the game. Then obviously Uzbekistan dominated the game a lot in the second half. But Qatar come out victorious at the end with Lucas Mendes. And wow, now this group gets a lot more interesting. And I wonder now, how does Uzbekistan regroup after this? They're going to go away to Laos and play against North Korea. You don't want to play North Korea. They're going to concede chances. They're going to score goals. But Uzbekistan, if Smordov is injured, Masharipov, you got to step up. Faisulayev, you got to do your thing again. Man, just a crazy game because a game of 2 halves. And this is why World Cup qualifiers are simply goated for these sort of moments. And if you're Uzbek, how do you respond after this? How do you now feel after this? If you're Qatari, are you guys back into it? Because a massive game going up against UAE next up, and you're only 3 points behind Uzbekistan. You're level on points with the UAE. It was a critical victory for Qatar. I said it many times. It's a must win for them, and they get the win in dramatic fashion. Well, there's the review, people. There will not be a review for Indonesia, Japan when we do the AFC World Cup qualifiers November review. So join me for that next week. Remember to have the notifications on. Remember to hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Get your thoughts in the comments down below of this crazy day of AFC World Cup qualifiers. Tomorrow, there will be a Kundable review for the 3 games. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time. Adios.